Okay, so today I was asked a really good question on the Facebook group. What about family classes? Now, this is something that you can do pretty much straight away, as long as you have a couple of things in place. Firstly, you need your Boxercise instructor thing, which you guys have all got. Secondly, you're going to need some sort of kids coaching qualification, whether it's ours, whether it's someone else's. Third, you need your DBS. That's all you basically need to get started. But there's a couple of things that you've got to bear in mind when you're doing this in order to make it work. It was very interesting that we had a Sport England survey that we had to get figures for Sport England as to how many people are teaching different age groups. And I was surprised to learn that 82% of the people that you guys are teaching are over 26. Now, this tells me there must be an enormous, massive market for you either to teach kids or to teach families. Why teach families? Well, it's good money. Let's put it that way. It's good money for a start. And secondly, what you do is once you've got families coming into your class, you've got a group of 5 people instead of one person at a time. And the other thing as well is that a lot of parents won't come to classes because they can't get rid of the kids. So if you include the kids in the class, it's going to work really well. So one of these things, though, it creates a problem. If you're mixing a class and mixing age groups, the fly in the ointment is key stage 1 kids, the 5 to 7-year-olds. And the problem for them is that they just don't have the ability to follow a circuit round. So don't even try and run your class as a circuit because it's not going to work. Just don't do it. Leave that to one side. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to run a class that is 45 minutes in length, no longer than that. And you're going to have to adjust your round periods. So your exercise period, for me as an adult, it's still 2 minutes exercise, 30 seconds rest. But what you do is after 1 minute 30, you stop the kids. By kids, I mean children under 14, because after 14, the cooling systems are in place. They're developing an anaerobic system at this point now, once they've hit puberty, and they are able to exercise for 2 minutes. Mind that said, if you've got someone that's really old that comes to your class, they may want to stop at 1.5 minutes. So if they stop at 1.5 minutes, they then get a full 1 minute rest before they do another 1.5 minutes. The adults will be doing 2 minutes on, 30 seconds off. So you're still working the same round lengths. It's just you're stopping the kids that little bit early. 45 minutes is as long as you need to do. And quite frankly, any class doesn't really need to be longer than 45 minutes if you're working in the right intensity. So don't do a circuit. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to warm them up. Now, every single class, every time, always, you're going to refresh 1 and 2. Even if the young kids have done it 100 times, like some of the kids that are going to come to my class, which starts in about 15 minutes, they have done 1 and 2, I don't know, more than 1,000 times. But it's important. It's very important. Remembering to do good, safe technique as part of a class. I do it as a warm-up. So for the warm-up, I'll get them to move around first, and then what I'll do is say, thumbs outside the hand, wrist is flat. Tuck your elbows in like this, and then I'll teach them punches 1 and 2, then we do it with movement. So this constitutes the warm-up, and then what we do next is we are straight onto pads, okay? So after the stretches, do a few stretches. You guys know what you're doing with that, so I'm not going to lecture you now. So get them on pads. Okay, so round 1 and 2, partner A, round 1, does 1, 2, and then they move. And they might go 1, 1, 2, something like that. But everything's based around 1, 2. Then partner B, my partner, does the same thing. So the kids then stop at 1 minute 30. They get a full minute's rest. And then the adults carry on to 2 minutes. Keep doing that. Now, this is where it gets clever. Round 3 and 4. The little kids who are new or don't have high-level skill, you get them to keep repeating that again and again. So they go round 3, round 4, round 5, round 6. They do 1, 2 and move, and that's it. You might even get them to do a sway back, like 1, 2, sway back. If you've done the PT course, you can teach that. If you haven't been taught to teach it, don't teach it, because kids will make a mistake and you won't know how to coach it. Now, round 3 and 4, when you've got your adults and your people who've been coming a bit longer, what they're going to do is they are then going to go into doing, say, 1, 2, 3, 2. So they say round 3, right, you guys over there doing 1, 2, 3, 2, kids, you're staying on 1, 2. So that combination is going to look like 1, 2, 3, 2, something like that. And then they're going to move. So it's going to start to get a bit more movement, and it's going to boop, 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 boop. and then they're going to be moving 1, 2, 3, 2. So that's going to be round 3 and round 4. Round 5, you might add something like maybe a pivot and then 1, 2. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, pivot, 1, 2, something like that. Whatever. But you're going to do 5 or 6 rounds, therefore, each thing progressing like that. And in between there, every 10 minutes or so, have yourself a water break. The kids can take a break anytime they want. That's what I do. I have a timeout chair. And sometimes bear in mind what they've been doing at school the day before. If they've been swimming, cross-country running and playing hockey, they're knackered. They might only make it through 20 minutes. So what? Let them have a sit down and just enjoy being there. And if they want to play in the end, then do it. I never say to the kids, you're working with so-and-so. I always say, you are playing with Toby. You are playing with Fear. I use that word because I don't like the word work at that age. So then what you're going to do is you're going to have a bit of a break, and then you're going to go into a bee sting. Now, for those of you that need ideas, look in the drills section at the top of this page, click Files, click, and then look for drills, and you'll see loads and loads of drills in there. Now, this is the clever part, right? People were looking for the Holy Grail for this for years and years and years. The thing is, what we call a bee sting, what us adults call a bee sting, the children call a game. That's the whole damn point. That you can take kids and they love the running backwards and forwards, point and punch. We think it's hard work. To them, it's a game. But try and reinforce good technique, thumb outside the hand, good punches, bring your hands back to your head, all those sorts of things. Now, what happens is at 1 minute 30, you stop the kids. At 2, you allow the adults to carry on for 2 minutes. Now, rounding your class off. Obviously, you're going to do a bit of a cool down and stretch and stuff like that. You guys know where to put that in. But what I do is I finish off with a relay or some sort of competition where the dad and the daughter, or the dad and the son, the mum and the son, whatever, or the daughter, join in together. So we call it, my favorite one's a 10, 20, 30 relay. So what you do, you can look that up in drills. You come up and you're doing a sit-up. You do 10 punches, then you run down to the other end of this room and they do 10 punches stand up. Then they go back 20, 20, 30, 30. Then they change pads and gloves. Now what I do is I cheat it a little bit so that I choose who's going to win. And I'll tell someone to slow down, one of the adults to slow down sometimes. Not the kids, because they don't get it. And what happens is, say if I win and my daughter Neve wins with me, she's like, wow, my dad's the greatest, we won and we did it together. And I give them a crappy little prize, like a little Boxercise boxing glove keyring or a packet of crisps, whatever. You choose an apple, something healthy if you're so inclined, can of Stella, whatever. You decide what, not to the kids. I didn't tell you to do that to the kids. And what you do is you decide what the prize is. They then get that prize and then they're like, wow, my dad or my mum is great and they love going to the class and they'll keep coming and it's good fun. Age groups, really simply, this is down to your insurance company. What happens with my class is I go 5 years and up, but I do get one kid comes in, he's 3.5, and he just kind of comes in and plays. He joins in a bit and he plays a bit and he joins in. But without him, his older brother couldn't come and the mum and dad. So not that I'm after the money, don't get me wrong. All of the money from my class goes to charity, every single penny. But I raise more money for charity that way. So it's important that I get enough people to make that worthwhile. I leave it up to you how you run that, but by and large, that's how a kid's family class works. It's very, very good. By all means, feel free to add comments underneath this thing and to discuss it and suggest ideas, because I can learn from you just the same as you can learn from me. I hope I haven't warbled on for too long. I've got 2 more videos to film before my class come in, so I better get on with them. Good luck. If you have any questions, ask them below. But I'm off next week, so I won't be answering any questions next week. Good luck, guys.